Deep Rock Galactic, the perfect game. It's got large swarms of terrifying insects, 4 different classes, and lots of underpaid miners. But the best thing about Deep Rock is the upgrades and perks. If you choose well, you can deal loads of damage or move at the speed of sound, so of course I abuse this. Okay, so we're going to start off with the damage build, and all of these builds will be for Scout, the 3rd class in the game. But all of these builds can be transferred to different classes very easily. You just sort of match up some of the upgrades that are already there, or add your own spin on it, whatever you want to do. Now we'll start with our primary weapon here. Now the first things that you want on your primary weapon are the stabilizer and the increased caliber rounds. Because what's the point of dealing loads of damage if you can't hit your shots? So we're going to have that just so we have a little bit more accuracy and an overall increased damage. Now this build is for, early game. We haven't got all of these big things unlocked, but to increase the build, you simply unlock these as you play through the game, and whatever deals more damage or whatever increases speed or does whatever, you can just click it, add it on, and it's really good. So we go into our secondary weapon, which is the shotgun, which already does loads of damage and doesn't really need any other upgrades for anything else, except for damage to make it better. So once again, we'll increase overall damage, and then you can either do increased fire rate or more magazine size. And I think fire rate's better because you can just unload as fast as possible, and it means that you can fire out that damage as fast as you're dealing it, which is just very good. Then we go to our pickaxe here. Now this is, a weapon that you won't really use for, dealing damage, more for mining. But we do have this unlocked, which is the power attack. So if you're in a massive swarm, you can right click and then left click and then do a massive electric shock down into the ground, dealing loads of damage. That's just a good thing to have if you're in a bit of a situation. Now the flares, you can't actually really modify the flares at all. They always just stay as the exact same no matter what happens, so you don't have to do anything here. So the flare gun doesn't actually do any damage, or like a small amount of damage, but it's mostly just for like a support tool. What we're going to be using for this is just stuff that's going to blend quite well with our damage build. So we're going to have decreased duration, and then we're going to have extended mag size. So we can carry more flares, and it takes a lot less time to shoot them out, so we can actually see what we're shooting. Then we've got our grappling hook. Honestly, for this, there's not really much that you should put on this. This doesn't really affect the damage build at all, but it will be the main thing in the speed build, so still unlock a lot of this. But for now, we've got waiting less time and then increased range. Now you can get 2 increased ranges, but I've seen it doesn't really do much, and waiting a long time for your thing to recharge isn't the best, so I just have it on that. Now the grenades are optional, but I really like the cryo grenade, mainly because when you got these big, bossy, tanky creatures, just throw one at it, and it takes like 2 seconds to kill. Now, the basic grenade is okay, it is good for slowing things down, so you can actually deal that damage and not get overwhelmed, but if you can get the cryo grenade, definitely do. And if you're a little bit more ahead, and you can get stuff like this, don't get the pheromone canister. It doesn't work well at all, and the cryo grenade is definitely better. I haven't actually been able to use this yet, the sweeper, so if you do end up trying this out and it is a lot better than any other grenade, feel free to use it. And then we go to the armor. Now this is just, if you still are not dealing enough damage, you want to be able to be tanky. You want to still be able to survive and fire out as much as possible. So what we're going to do is shields regenerate sooner, and then our max health is increased. And then this here is, there's a lot of stuff that combats each other, a lot of stuff for shielding, health, a lot of things for carrying minerals, but we need our health more than we need our shield, since our shield is, regenerating sooner. So that's what I have as my upgrades for that.